Peoples of YouTube, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all. Unit Shutdown. Now, Unit Shutdown, which is the second unit box set produced by Big Finish, provided me with a bit of a problem of how to separate it in terms of stories and how review it and all that stuff. Because usually in a box set, there's a pretty much good strong running theme through each of the stories of a box set, but they're separate stories, and they are very definitely different separate stories. They're not really, the stories aren't really connected. There's an overarching theme, but they're not really connected that way. Or they are completely separate stories with no connection at all, like with the 10th Doctor stuff. Unit, on the other hand, is 4 separate stories, but they are all heavily connected to each other. It is a lot like a continuous action TV series that continues day after day after day. Almost like 24 in a way, the TV show 24. So it makes it difficult to decide how to record and how to sort of review this. So I'm just going to review the whole box set as a whole. Not really reviewing each. We're not giving a review score for each story. The video is going to keep on flicking, as you can probably tell, flicking through the different covers. But I'm going to be talking about the whole thing as a whole. So, Unit Shutdown features a completely original enemy, a completely original monster called the Tengabushi. Very much inspired by sort of the Far East warriors of samurai and assassins and all that stuff. It's all actually really, really nicely done. I should have had a drink before I did this. You've got the characters, you've got the returning characters from Unit Extinction. Obviously Kate Stewart, Osgood, Sam Bishop, who is sort of like the all-over sort of troubleshooter around the world, appears for a bit, sort of everything. And then you've got Josh Carter, who's the muscle, so as you'd say. Colonel Shindy, who was in Unit Extinction, and who survived Unit Extinction, is not in this one. He's not in this one, but we do know for a fact he's in the next one, which is Unit Silenced. Yeah, Silenced. So we do know he's in that one. But yeah, so we've got those characters returning, and especially with Osgood, I think I get the feeling of we get to learn a lot more about her. We get to see her outside of the office when she's not dealing with monsters and aliens and the Doctor and all that stuff. Speaking of the Doctor, he gets a bit of a name check, which is rather nice. But no, the characters are all really nicely fleshed out. Even Kate gets a bit of a fleshing out. The character development is really nice for her. The character development for Osgood is top notch. Really happy with that. I would say the only one who doesn't get real character development is probably Sam Bishop. Which I think is a shame, because he seems like an interesting character, but this is the second box set now and we still don't really have much development of him, not really. Even Josh Carter, who's your sort of stereotypical sort of bulky guy, bulky muscle man, the strength and all that stuff of that team, doesn't really, even he gets a bit of development, but Sam Bishop doesn't, and that I think is a shame. The story as a whole is really nice. It's sort of, I've noticed this a lot in Big Finish recently, especially with the 10th Doctor stuff. It took the conception that we originally had about what was going on in each of those 3 different stories, and then flip it on its head. And that's what this is what Unit Shutdown does really well as well. really does really well as well. Yeah, well, why not? It takes what we think is happening and actually just reverses it, and it's just really nice, in the form of the Tengobushi, like I said, who are not quite as they seem, and sort of they're sort of masters we've seen a variant of before, in fact, in another new series box set release, which I haven't done a review of yet. I should do at some point. But no, I think that was really nice, connecting that with Unit and Unit with that. That's really nicely done. And then we get the human villain aspect of it all. Felicity Lime of Lime Industries, and she's a nasty piece of work. She's a nasty piece of work. Even when you first meet her, you know she's a nasty piece of work. But she's given real depth, and you sort of feel that what she's doing because she actually thinks this will help. And it's done really nicely. All the stories are consecutively different. You've got Power Cell, which I think is a fantastic, almost political thriller in a way, with not being sure who to trust and everything. Then you've got Death in Geneva, which is lovely because we see more of the hierarchy of Unit, and you get this fantastic American character who reminds me so much of the gentleman whose name escapes me now, who does the audiobook readings for the Artemis Fowl books by Owen Colfer, especially the third book, which named the Eternity Code, I believe it is. Artemis Fowl and the Eternity Code, I think it is. At some point there will have been a flashy thing on the sign that says what the actual guy's name is, but he does a really good American accent, and it's listening to the American character in Death in Geneva brought me right back to hearing those books as a child. So you've got, obviously, you find out about Geneva, then you've got the Battle of the Tower, and oh, that is fantastic. That is a really good, that is falling back on what Unit did with Unit Extinction, and doing a massive sort of full-on action-packed story. And then you've got the final one, Ice Station Alpha, which is wonderfully done, fantastically done. Nice, really nice end piece. Doesn't really end in death either, which is always a good thing. But no, really enjoyed it. Enjoyed the whole box set as a whole. The whole box set as a whole? Why not? Really looking forward to the third one, which, as I'm sure you're all aware, and if you're not, skip this point because it's going to be a spoiler, but Unit Silence, Featuring the Silence. That's going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to that. Marks for Unit Shutdown. I will be giving this an 8.5 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. Some great character development for most of the main characters. The villains, the other characters, they all get really good, deep characters. Really enjoyed it. Love the concept of the Tengobushi. Recommend you go out and buy it if you haven't already. Let me know if you have already listened to it. Let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. That would be great. And that's it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up down below. It helps a great deal. Subscribe for more. And so long for now, viewers.